Alright, what's up boys? So we're talking about my recent glow down which happened due to chicken pox. As the story begins about 2 weeks ago, give or take.
There is no passion, there is no vision, there is no aggression.
Day 0. The day my sister came down with the disease. Shortly after her being recovered, I caught her disease. This is where I presume day 1 started. With a really severe headache right after I had woken up from a shitty night's rest and had a bit of a fever. At first I didn't think much of it, but my chin started to itch, and when I was washing my face, the left side of my neck also burned. For no apparent reason, that is what I thought, but boy was I wrong. I also noticed a few more zits on my body than usual, but didn't think much of it at first. I went on with my day as usual after the headache got a little bit better. The next day I woke up with an itch on my chin and an itch on my neck even more severe. When I went to the bathroom, I noticed that I had developed the famous Habsburg jaw. I thought to myself about how ugly I looked. My face was never the most even, but this was on another level. I looked like absolute dog shit. At this point my family noticed and got worried as well. The next day the swelling off my chin lessened a bit, but it was still there. On this day I was also diagnosed with chicken pox. I noticed that the zits were also forming at my abdomen. This is where my medication officially started. I was ordered to take my medicine for 6 days straight along the same time. This is where my fever got even worse. My bones shaking and each joint felt like it was trying to cut into each other. One of the strangest feelings where you sense that your body is breaking into itself. I'm sure a lot of you have experienced it before as well. Day 5. The day the pimples on my face and body got even worse. It's a funny thing really, what a disease such as this can do to one's looks. I went from this to this in only a few days. Makes you feel a whole lot smaller and humbled. Day 6. The 3rd day of my medication. On this day, things would only get worse, as zits started to grow all over my legs and one on my eyelid, which made that eye and looking from it very painful. And for a guy who likes to wear jeans all the time, it was hell. I would eventually stop wearing them throughout this experience, but it took me this long to change into some trousers. Day 7. Fever went down, but I started to itch like hell. And this was the most annoying part. Not even me looking like an inbred monster, but the itching was most certainly the worst part. Also, I should mention that throughout these days I haven't been working out for obvious reasons. Day 8. On this day the fever disappeared and my face started to look a bit better. Still filled up with zits though. My body, however, didn't change. Day 9. The last day of my medication. This is where no trace of my fever was left. I felt good and I felt strong. So on that day I worked out a bit. Nothing special, I just practiced some handstands, did some push-ups, some horse stands, punching, some high rep bodyweight squats. On this day, me and 2 of my friends made a plan to go to the beach the next day, early in the morning. I agreed, as my medication did end. Know that at this point I wasn't allowed to take a bath or wash my face as such. I smelled like what I can only describe as oily skin. Sadly, the zits on my body turned into blisters and ended up being roughed up at the beach. Day 10. The beach day. This is the day where I finally took a much needed bath, groomed up, and finally did some skincare. Thankfully my face didn't look as bad as it did the day before. And my hair certainly didn't look as bad as they did. Anyhow, the walk to the beach was a harsh one. About 5.5 kilometers from my house, give or take, and on top of that, one of my mates couldn't make it. That was the sad part. So there were only 2 of us who went on a 5-kilometer walk. A 5-kilometer walk was child's play for me back in the day, back in my home country of Pakistan. But here in UAE, the scorching hot weather, it was hard to say the least, but eventually after an hour's worth of walking, we made it. And I almost drowned and died by going further into the ocean, forgetting I couldn't swim. The waves picked me up and dropped my ass down till I couldn't catch a firm grip to the ground below the water, and was helplessly trying to flap my way to the shore. 99% of my body was in the ocean, and the 1% being my mouth coming up after I'd helplessly tried to jump from the ground. Hell, I don't think I could have made it to the shore, since I couldn't stand vertically, and the salt water entering my system through my nose and my mouth made things even worse. So eventually my friend caught on to me and saved my life. Props to you, Eren Yeager. Well, that's mostly the gist of it. After which we ate some food and started our journey back, which was exceptionally more harder, as the sun was now a lot more harsher, and the both of us were exhausted from everything else. It took time and a lot of resting in between, but we made it home safe. And also the salt water did make my hair look like blonde Itadori. So that's that. After I got home, the only thing I could do was sleep. This is what I looked like after I woke up in the evening. At this point, I was so tired that I slept some more in the night as well. The following day is where my recovery journey officially begins. The road to achieving the face I once had was in process. Now, not if you're suffering from serious acne or just blow up facially. Then stay tuned for part 2, where I discuss my secrets I've picked up over the years.
So,
Like and subscribe.
You ugly fucks.